Well, welcome, my friends, to The Confused Breakfast, the podcast where we hit pause on the chaos of today and rewind to a simpler time when it wasn't about convenience, it was about the experience. Remember the magic of a Friday night trip to the video rental store?
Yeah.
Wandering the aisles, making the big decision of what movie was coming home with you. No scrolling, no algorithms, just pure vibes. We're part of the last generation that knows the joy of the search, the snap of the plastic clamshell, and we're here to revisit the movies that shaped us and defined our childhoods. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who get to drink from the fire hose. Sean Pryor and AJ Venz, how the heck are ya?
It's always the best, especially on like the 85-degree weather days.
Just hot days.
You've drank from a fire hose?
Well,
You know, like the
hose bib
the
on
fire
the side of the house.
hydrants.
Oh, you've seen when they open those? I
Yeah.
thought that was only in movies.
I've drank
When they
out
come
of
by
it.
and they're like, look, we opened the fire hydrant.
I think if you get hit by a fire hydrant, then you're going to be drinking from it one way or another. I think that's the way it works.
Is that like a slang term for being in a coma?
Can it be? I mean,
It is now.
All right, great.
Oh, dude, I had to go see my grandma. She's drinking from the fire hose right now.
Drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah,
Oh,
they don't know
sorry
if she's
to
going to
hear
pull
that,
through, man.
man.
It's
Jeez.
tough.
Well, what
Bad
end?
case.
Ugh.
Well, my grandmas and grandpas have both passed, so
I'm sorry.
for all four of them, they're gone. I think they'd be proud of me, though, for what I've done in my life and talking about movies that they probably hated.
This is a great eulogy for them.
Yeah.
Oh, this is special. I'm already depressed.
Well, AJ, are you done watching the movie on your phone? Finishing
Not
it?
quite yet. I'm actually doing a really good part.
What part are you at?
Oh, yeah, the Rambo part. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, real
So-
quick, we're going to pause. We're going to let AJ finish the movie, and we'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
Well, boys, on today's episode, we're diving into a cult classic that redefined what it means to be weird, hilarious, and just downright absurd. A movie showing the world that Weird Al Yankovic should be protected at all costs. This movie showed us the greatest hot dog twinkie combination of all time and taught us that broads don't belong in broadcasting, that gun control is for wimps and commies, and that life is like a mop. We're, of course, talking about 1989's UHF.
Guns don't kill
Well,
people.
damn,
I
damn.
do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with The Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Well, if you're new to the podcast, we're going to be reviewing UHF scene by scene, but
That's
we
me.
believe we must first talk about it with pure nostalgia. Sean, first time you saw this movie, what'd you think about this thing back then?
First time I saw this movie was when we were doing our list on top 5 1989 movies, and this came out in 1989. So when we usually when we do those lists, I try to watch something I had never seen, and this was one of them. So
Whoa.
this was the first time I watched this was probably 6 months to a
Yeah,
year
maybe.
ago, something like that.
Still counts. That's nostalgia.
I guess, yeah. Nostalgically, I'd have to say I would give it a 6.
Sixer. AJ, what about you, man?
There was a time a week ago
Yeah,
that I watched this
about
movie.
10 minutes ago.
And then fast forward a week, and here we are sitting here in this studio while I'm also just kind of watching more bits and pieces of this movie. I'll be honest with you, because I got to watch it about 1.5 times. And if you know anything about my watching, my researching, I have to watch a movie like 3 or 4 times. I think I watched a movie the most out of this group when we're doing our research. And so I feel I'm excited about this, though. Nostalgically, it's still going to be an NA.
Yeah, I was not. I'm not. So let's go back. I was not a Weird Al Yankovic fan. Didn't really care for the parody songs. Didn't know that this was a movie, and if I did know it was a movie, I just didn't care to watch it. Maybe somebody said, "Oh, it's dumb," or I read some critic reviews or something. So I never gave this a shot.
Yeah.
But I will juxtapose that with a movie I did give a shot and saw in the theater, Chairman of the Board with Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I did go see that one,
Thank
and that was a
goodness.
big part of my childhood. UHF, though, not going to touch it.
There's a link
Sure.
there. There's a link to Chairman of the Board.
Oh, yeah?
We'll get there.
We do have an executive producer today, Josh Miller. This was his choice. He forced it upon us. Here's what he said. The reason I chose this movie is Weird Al is on tour, and it's one of the performer checklist items for me. I've knocked a couple off my list in the past few years. Rise Against a couple of months ago. The Pork Tornadoes a couple of years ago.
Hey.
Frankly, I never thought I'd get the chance to see Weird Al live. Growing up, I loved this guy, had all of his albums on tape, then CD. Going to make a weekend out of it in Austin because the show will be indoors. He'll be local here in Houston, but it's outside, and you do whatever you can to not go outside any more than you have to in July and August here. June and September as well, and sometimes May and October. January's pretty nice. Sometimes it only gets up to 80. As for UHF, it's literally one of my favorites growing up. I certainly didn't see it in theaters, but it had to be in theaters, right? Was it straight to video? I'm curious if anyone who listens here or in the Discord can confirm they saw it in theaters. I have no idea when the first time I saw it. I had to be 10-ish years old. Does that math work? After pulling out the old abacus, the math doesn't math. It came out in 1989, which made me 11 to 12 years old. I would put large amounts of money, like 3 stacks of High Society, that I have seen this movie dozens of times. I can also say with the utmost confidence, I also haven't watched it again in over 30 years. It's very likely I watched it, hit rewind, and watched it again multiple times. I'm excited to watch this again. I hope it's as good as my nostalgia's made it up to be. I think I'll be okay as the Weird Al spoof biopic that had me rolling. So will this. Nostalgic score 10.5. He's going 10.5, and I'm gonna allow it, which takes Sean and Josh to an 8.25.
Damn.
Nostalgically, this is getting up there. That's gonna slide right in between Mortal Kombat and Spaceballs on the nostalgic meter.
That checks out.
I just want to go on record here, okay? And I want to say,
Given the medal merit.
thank you. I just want to say, historically, that's not a great thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Historically, this can only mean really bad things for a final rating. But
Damn
we'll
it.
see.
We'll see if it earns the Medal of Merit.
Well, we're going to strip away all the nostalgia. We got to go to Sean right now for all the important details of the movie. What do you got on this one, dude?
Produced by John Hyde and Gene Kirkwood. Written by Al Yankovic and Jay Levy. Music by John Duprez. He also did Monty Python's Meaning of Life, Once Bitten, A Fish Called Wanda, TMNT 1, 2, and 3. Cinematography by David Lewis. He also did Night of the Demons. Mike also did Chairman of the Board.
Yes.
Pee-wee's Playhouse. A bunch of those episodes. Maybe, I think, all of them. Edited by Dennis M. O'Connor. Directed by Jay Levy. Basically all Weird Al's music videos.
Basically.
Yeah. Cast: Weird Al Yankovic, Victoria Jackson, Kevin McCarthy, Michael Richards, David Bow, Stanley Brock, Anthony Geary, Trinidad Silva, Getty Watanabe, Emo Phillips, and Fran Drescher.
Fran.
By the early 80s, Weird Al was skyrocketing in popularity with his parody songs and music videos. So to capitalize on the success and broaden the entertainer's avenues, Al and friend creative partner Jay Levy wrote a script. The duo had discussed a movie idea as early as 1985, but 4 years later would actually realize that idea in UHF. While shopping the script around Hollywood, Al Yankovic and Jay Levy would find their producing partners in Orion Pictures, who were in desperate need for a hit for their studio, to save their studio from going bankrupt, literally. Orion, major player in like the 80s.
Oh, yeah. You can see the intro. Everybody's seen it.
Everyone knows it. It's awesome. For the role of Stanley Spadowski, Yankovic actually wrote with Michael Richards in mind because he was a fan of his stand-up routine and had his role in the show Fridays. When Richards was offered the role, he turned it down because he had recently developed Bell's palsy. The character was based off of Christopher Lloyd's character in Taxi, and Yankovic had considered offering him the role, but gave Richards one last chance, in which he took advantage of. Jennifer Tilly and Ellen DeGeneres auditioned for Terry Campbell, but Victoria Jackson won out instead. For R.J. Fletcher, Kevin McCarthy was wanting to break out of his more serious roles and do some comedy work, so he was cast and is said to have had a blast on set, even barely getting lines out from laughing. Fran Drescher was cast for her comedic chops, and Yankovic thought her voice was a great juxtaposition for what a news anchor should sound like. For the role of Philo, the production wanted Crispin Glover. Glover liked the script, but he only wanted to play the used car salesman who threatens to beat a sea otter in the head if people don't buy his cars.
I wish that would have happened.
Oh my
Of course,
God.
that's what he wanted to
And
play.
like literally Weird Al and Jay
He
Levy,
read the entire script. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that.
we want you to play the more significant role that has more
No.
lines, has lots more to do with movies. Like, nah, beating seals over the head with a club.
Do I actually get to do it?
I would
I
love
feel
that.
like I'm already well prepared for that role, so I think I'd like that one.
Did it last week.
The role went to General Hospital actor Anthony Geary instead. Most of the film was shot in Oklahoma because one of the producers had just finished shooting The Outsiders there, and said it was pretty legit for budgetary reasons and a wealth of locations. UHF was released July 21st, 1989, and on a budget of $5 million, and up against a summer blockbuster-filled season with movies like When Harry Met Sally, Last Crusade, Ghostbusters 2, Lethal Weapon, License to Kill, Do the Right Thing, Weekend at Bernie's, and the juggernaut Batman. The film only made $6.1 million at the box office, causing Orion Pictures to eventually fold in 1991, but the film has gone on to become a cult classic.
Well, thank you, Sean. Let's go on to AJ. We got to learn what the critics and fans have to say about this movie. What do you got on this?
Broads don't belong in broadcasting, but the tomato meter. I don't know, guys. I was
Tomato meter.
Tomato meter.
I'm not even going to play it.
63%.
Oh,
Tomato
63%.
meter. Yeah.
Not going to lie to you. I fully expected to log in and find what it was and to see it much lower than 63.
Yeah.
I did too.
That's tied with Uncle Buck and Twister per the critics for any movie we've done.
Perfect.
Not bad. It is 77% on the popcorn meter.
Ooh.
And IMDb is coming in at a 6.9.
Of any movie we've done, tied with The Burbs and Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Respect.
On brand. I like it.
On brand.
Let's see. Rick Groen, maybe? The Globe and Mail, Toronto. Of course, Canadian.
Groin.
So, of course, he liked it. The laughs just keep rolling as Weird Al makes a movie. Overheard from a still convulsing woman after a recent screening of Weird Al Yankovic, in quotes, I'm sorry, but that's funny. I'm sorry, but she's right. Yucks you feel obliged to apologize for, and yucks nonetheless. But in UHF prompts a lot of apologies. In a good way.
I don't know what any of that meant.
Oh,
No.
good. Just said there's a lot of yucks. Let me paraphrase. There's a
Like
lot
gross?
of yucks for
Like things
just
are gross?
Like yuck,
I think
yucks?
yuck.
They're talking about the Twinkies, like it's
Yuck,
being
yuck,
gross?
yuck, yuck,
Oh,
yuck.
okay. Yeah.
We'll find
kind of
out.
thing. Yeah. Stephen Holden, New York Times. The movie is forever digressing so that Mr. Yankovic can offer media spoofs that have only the most tangible relation to the story. Okay. People liked it. People didn't like it, guys. Gene Siskel did not like it.
Oh,
okay.
Are you kidding me?
Of course not.
What?
The movies that it's let me guess. The movies that it's parroting are way better than this movie.
Did he get it?
I don't know. No. Feeling
I haven't read it
good,
yet.
maybe injurious to your sense of humor. Rarely has a comedy tried so hard and failed so often to be funny.
Okay.
So
Sounds like you didn't get the jokes, but that's okay.
Ebert also agreed. He said the results of UHF is a very unfunny movie. It's routine, predictable, and dumb. Real dumb.
That's actually really funny to me because like zero in this was predictable to me. Like every corner of this movie, I was like, "What? What are we doing?"
I totally saw him taking it there.
Totally saw that happening.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, they're setting it up for a joke. Saw it coming.
Yeah.
Saw it
Oh
coming.
yeah.
I saw
That
it
penny.
coming.
Everybody knows that penny's worth $2,000.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
For sure, dude.
Let's see. I'll just read some bad ones here, guys. Let's just do it that way. Number one, first one is Dude 2001 in August of 2002. I did not like this movie at all. 1 out of 10. Well, I saw this movie at a friend's house. He told me the movie was totally hilarious, but when I saw the movie, it was terrible. I think you have to be really weird if you want to call this comedy. It's about a guy who tries to take over a radio station, TV station, but it doesn't go well for him at first. But then he has lame shows and tries to hire anybody, even if the person has no television experience. It goes on because later they have to raise money to save the station, and eventually they do. But I consider this movie for a kid that is under the age of 6th grade. Personally, I didn't enjoy the movie.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Thanks,
You could have
dude.
just said, not my cup of tea.
You
and
actually
moved
could
on.
have just moved on with your life.
You could have not written
You
that.
could have just
Yeah.
been like, oh, that wasn't for me. So anyway, I'm going to go to the park.
Just as easy. I'll argue even easier to not do anything about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have told nobody. 1 out of 10. Horrible, said Liz 70 in 1999. This movie was not worth watching. I thought it would have at least had a little humor, but not even the dark humor of it was funny. I would like to recommend to anyone who wants to watch this movie to stay away from it. One of Fran Drescher's first films.
Yes,
Little
it is.
factoid right there at
That's
the end.
why we're
and
staying away from it.
That's what we got. That's all.
That was a compliment sandwich.
There's a- oh yeah. Let's move on to some of the most important people.
Yeah, dude.
Of this show. The Little Lebowski Urban Achievers on Discord, exclusive channel. Get your reviews read on here, guys. Tell us about your props. Tell us about your punchable faces. Get in on the convo with us. Oh, let's see. Alex Navarro, what up? You guys have no idea how excited I am you're doing this movie. My cousin and I would watch this movie all the time and still quote it today. I love the style of humor. It's Weird Al. Can't go wrong. It's nice to see Michael Richards play a character other than Kramer. It would have been nice to see him in more movies, but, yikes. I remember having a big crush on Fran Drescher and always thought it was funny how he had a blonde and a brunette with funny voices. This movie is very underrated and deserves more attention. I swear I can never look at a good spatula the same way again.
Hard to come by, man.
Yeah, dude. No money down.
Nah.
Yeah, no money down. Let's see. Jarrett, picture it. Walmart, 2006. I just finished my shift pushing carts when I should have just been cashiering. I'm walking out, grabbing a snack and a Diet Coke for the way home. That's when I see it. A $5 DVD on the end cap with 3 letters and the most recognizable hair and split mustache of a generation. I was hooked from the start. It was like watching a Weird Al album, and it was art. UHF is one of 2 movies that solidified my friendship with Michael, my coworker who introduced me to the Confused Breakfast. T2 was the other.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Special.
call me Mr. Butterfingers. So,
If you want to join up, support the podcast, go to patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. The $5 tier and up gets you bonus audio, voting on upcoming movies, access to the Discord. But that Little Lebowski tier gets you into a private chat where we get to take your thoughts on the movie and read them on air. So we appreciate you guys being there.
One of our favorite segments.
Yes. Well, friends, you've tuned into the Confused Breakfast, and boy, oh boy, are we going to have big fun today. We're going to have so much fun, we'll forget about how miserable we are and how much life sucks and how we're all going to grow old and die someday. Say, I want to go home.
I want to go home.
Shut up, you little weasel. Okay, right now I'd like to do a scene-by-scene breakdown of UHF. This is a sad, depressing podcast featuring 3 pathetic hosts who spend every waking moment of their lives in the futile pursuit of art and joy, only to have everyone on the internet mock and laugh at them until they repeatedly crushed and maimed. Hope you'll enjoy it. Here we go. Scene 1, George Newman has an overactive imagination. His girlfriend Terry grows frustrated with his aimless lifestyle, while George and his best friend Bob get fired from a fast food job after George insults their boss. At a party, George Uncle Harvey wins the deed to a bankrupt UHF TV station, Channel 62, in a poker game. Harvey's wife convinces him to let George run the station. George and Bob visit the rundown station and meet the quirky staff.
So I think we said it in Raiders, a review of Raiders of the Lost Ark, that character reveal was one of the greatest of all time.
Of all time.
So by that rationale, we have to say that this is one of the second greatest character intros
by
of all
proxy.
time. Yeah.
Remember I'd like to remind everybody how I do this. Like if this is a movie I haven't seen, I just put it on.
Yeah.
I don't like try to do some research first. So I literally knew nothing of what this movie was about. Mm-hmm. And this is how it opens. I'm like, okay. Like, and especially because it's not shot for shot, but there are moments that they painstakingly made the exact same shot as Raiders, dude. And it's just like, it's just well done enough to where it's not over the top dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. But then they make the little tweaks to it that make me laugh so hard. I mean, the fact that he throws the little sandbag away instead of putting it on there.
Right.
And dude, the one thing that I always as a kid had major problems with, I think I talked about it on Raiders, that where does that ball go?
Yeah.
Like the ball doesn't just stop.
Yeah.
It's a giant boulder. And this movie actually takes it to the point where no, this ball keeps going, bro. And you're going to have a hard time getting away from it. This opening scene had me absolutely immediately hooked to this movie.
This was one of the things, like, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was like, wait, why is it doing this? Are we literally watching like more Weird Al music videos?
Yes.
And like, but then it started to process for me of like what was going on. And by the way, Weird Al's serious face is the funniest goddamn thing to look at for extended periods of time.
Yes, this and the Rambo where you're just like, I can't stop looking at your awesome face.
It's almost like scary, especially with like the KY covered prosthetic that he's wearing for the body.
Yeah, I know. And like, but it was the moment that I started to realize, I was like, I think I'm in good territory here, comedy wise, because you start to see all the signs that say like, don't go this way, stop, this is not the way, like, go back, and him like snapping off the guy's arm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's shot for shot, but then they'll just do the one thing. It's like, change that up a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, I feel like I'm in this kind of Zucker Brothers, Jim Abrams world of comedy, like parody world, and I'm good with it.
Yeah,
it's kind of it became a happy place very quickly.
This is what they used for the main marketing tool as well. Like for the teaser trailer, they just used this.
When was Raiders?
85.
Okay, so I mean, this is fresh in people's minds.
Oh yeah, I mean, like Last Crusade's coming out this year, so
wow,
people, it's already in the zeitgeist for sure. So people, I'm sure, have probably seen the trailer for Last Crusade, and then like if they go to a movie and they see the teaser trailer for UHF, they're like, wait, what?
Huh?
Oh, hang on. But then it's the reveal that it's Weird Al Yankovic, and I love that it's the Oscar that he's reaching for. And they had a huge problem with that. Obviously,
of course
they're
did.
Just so up their fucking pants. But I heard that they changed it so he's covering his like privates, but it's not that.
Oh, okay.
He's just got his hands cuffed.
Oh, weird.
But I think the main change is that it's like bronze instead of like
to be able to get away with
shiny
using
gold.
it.
Yeah, like they had that much of a problem with it. They were like, you. Absolutely not.
When he props open the door with it, like for some reason that caught me off guard enough to make me chuckle.
Yes. No.
And then he pulls it out so easily.
This movie just like it was one of those things where when people say LOL when they text, but they're not. They're just like LOL.
Yeah, lols.
This is when I say I laughed out loud. Like I'm actually telling you that at one point my wife came out and was like, "What are you doing?" Like this entire house is trying to sleep and you're laughing out loud. I'm like, I can't help it.
I'm sorry.
This movie's so funny. And it starts right off the bat, and then you realize that this is just a dream, that he's daydreaming, and you're in it. You're in the job scene, and it just is. What did you say? It's just like a happy place, or
Just
something.
kind of, it becomes a happy place very quickly.
It keeps rolling through, even though times are tough for our main guy George here. We're like, it's still so lightheartedly like. There's not a real danger here for anyone.
No, yeah,
you know,
it is a great way to put it, where you just kind of feel safe in this kind of area or like realm that they're portraying. Like even when they're in Big Edna's, and he's bitching to his friend, he's like, "Yeah, I just want to get out of here," or something. He's got the mustard and just kind of sprays it
right across those people.
even Big Edna throwing them in that scene where it's like, ah, and that stupid little like for her, like it's genius.
Yeah,
it's like living in a Wile E. Coyote movie.
Great analogy
is basically what this is, and that's why it feels safe, because even though all this bad stuff will happen to him, or all the like, whatever could happen to somebody could make them die. But nobody's going to die in this. No, it is a safe place.
Well, and then there's debates of like, is all of this real? We've already seen his propensity to like daydream and stuff like that. So like you don't necessarily know what's real or not in this movie.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about the greatest snack ever put to scene.
You think so?
I'm not going to say it's the greatest because I've never tried it, and it looks like we're about to try it. Can we, Sean? Can we?
You guys don't have to.
On air? You're going to eat it on air.
I'm going to eat it on air. Yeah.
I'm going to eat one in the Patreon. We'll do a bonus Patreon of this. But Sean is currently serving up a Twinkie hot dog with Cheese Whiz.
Watch our YouTube, or I'm sure, hopefully, Mike will make a reel out of this. I don't know.
We're going to find out. We're going to watch you while we talk about it.
Yeah. Do you heat the hot dog up?
I would
sure
think
you
you
do.
should probably heat the hot dog
I'm
up.
sure you do, but we're live right now.
Does it say that those are cooked? Those are pre-cooked?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
That's not what I asked.
While he's serving it up, I mean, I'm not saying it's the best tasting one. Like, we'll talk about foods that look appetizing.
Right.
But it's the funniest bit of food, like the most iconic bit of food ever put on screen.
You know what it is that it simultaneously looks like the grossest thing in the entire planet, but it also at the same time looks like that actually might be kind of good.
Might be
like
good.
Sweet and savory at the same time.
And it's playing on the fact that like they don't have much money, I guess. So he's just putting stuff together in his house.
I got your favorite.
Somebody said that he ate so many of these
7 of them.
that it actually turned him vegetarian. Like he went vegetarian after this movie because of what he had to go through.
Oh God.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
That came out a lot faster than
Just
I
take a
thought.
bite and let's see what happens here.
Okay, here.
Oh my God.
It's a cheesy glizzy Twinkie.
That's what it's called?
That's what I'm calling it.
You can see it on our YouTube if you want to watch this.
All right, here we go.
Oh my
It's
God.
Would you call it a twizzy? A
twog?
A twink glizzy?
A cheese twog?
No.
Twog. Sean, what do you think?
It's not bad.
Oh yes, I am going to have a bite after this episode, but I need to be able to talk.
You're gonna need a microwave.
Oh yeah, I will be cooking the hot dog.
Okay.
We're in an office building here, and it's going to smell like hot dogs.
It's gonna smell
after
like
we're
hot
done.
dogs now. I hope they've got a good HVAC system.
I'm going to take one more bite.
Okay, then I'm going to ask
Keep
AJ
right
a
on
question.
it. You bet.
Do you think some of these little gags are just funny gags, or do you think there's an idea that they want to have a payoff on it? Like this beginner karate class is just funny because it's beginner karate and they live there and and they're on the other side of the wall. But I feel like he invented the entire gag of the karate class just so that he could have a fist come through a wall with a watch on it, so he could look at what time it is.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite gags in this entire movie. I love it.
Do you think I'm right in that? Like, I feel like he got an idea in his head. He's like, it'd be funny if a hand came through a wall with a watch on it. So then he went back and rewrote the beginner karate class.
He reverse engineered the joke.
Yes,
is what he did, which is what I think you should do when you're writing jokes. But I do think that is what he did, and it is for all intents and purposes just so he can talk about a beginner karate class where things are getting flipped out of windows.
Yes,
off of second stories, third stories, and then finally just have a watch. Just
that's all he wanted.
Oh, good. That's it.
Yeah,
Move on.
either that. I think is it later too that what's his name, Watanabe,
Cooney.
Cooney. Yeah, that he comes and like saves him from certain henchmen, or like dreams that.
Oh yeah, he's in something towards the end.
'Cause it could either be that or he's hosting the wheel of fish.
Yes.
But it could either be that or he was writing that like some karate dudes or taekwondo dudes come and save him, and then
So he needs to be friends with them.
In rewriting, he's like, oh, he lives up above us or something.
Yeah, we need to be friends.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's the stupid gags of like this. Normally, I hate this stuff. I hate this kind of comedy. But like the homeless man, change, and he actually like counts it out and gives him $1 back. I lost it. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't get why some of this dumb stuff works sometimes and it doesn't other times. Maybe it's just the way it's presented to me and like the sincerity with which Weird Al like genuinely loves these jokes and like puts them in there, and I buy it.
Yeah.
The way they feed it to me.
One of the things that sticks with me, it was a few years ago, Weird Al just did like a Instagram reel or like a story or something like that, and he was like, he had this like orb that he would like, it was like a silver orb in his hand, but it was like floating there. He's like, oh, look at the magicals, the floating orb, oh, and it's a ladle, and he's like, and he turns around, he's like, soup's on. That shit's fucking great, and that this is the whole movie basically. It's jokes like that.
Yeah, and it's moving forward, just nonstop, just every second something's going to be happening that you need to pay attention
When
to.
they do finally get the job for UHF or whatever, he's like, it's just like working at a fish market, except you don't have to clean and gut fish all day.
Clean and
So it's
gut
nothing
fish
like
all day. Okay, and then I expected there to be like another thing following up to that, and there's not.
No, move on.
Oh, okay. Nope. That's not it at all. It's just we're gonna go on with this.
I do love Bob too. His buddy Bob's really great little sidekick for this movie. He doesn't get much love in this movie because it isn't a huge role, but he is George's like little counterpart in this whole thing, and he needs Bob in this thing for sure.
I read that he was like a giant fan of Weird Al too.
Really?
And like was like maybe a comedian or something like that, and Weird Al liked him, and so it was like kind of a dream come true to work with Weird Al in this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then even more little gags, like they get to the studio and they meet Philo. I don't know if you picked up on that, but Philo, when he's like, here, hold the whatever electrical cables, he puts on snorkel goggles. Instead of like protective eyewear, he puts on snorkel goggles.
It works.
Yes. I mean, I guess it in theory protects your eyeballs from like sparks, but not from like the electricity and the heat from it or whatever.
I mean, rubber. Maybe it's. I don't know. I got nothing on that actually, but like, and it just makes me wonder. Also, what is the point of just putting the things in his hands?
I thought they would have had something to do later on in the movie, and it never really comes to fruition.
Never really comes around. It's just like he just wanted to have a moment where he held two electrical cables, like Back to the Future or something, and just so he could get electrocuted. That's it.
That's literally it.
He just wanted to do that, and it's like, it's funny to me.
It's the time machine crystal thing and Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, it hurts.
Turn it off.
Fran Drescher in this too is a welcome face too. I mean, like very welcome.
Especially when she's not doing the voice.
Sure.
Like this, most people would say her voice in this is already annoying, but we know that she can take it to another level. So we're like, this is great. Stay right there, lady.
And their like interaction too is, it reminds me of like going to film festivals when I had like a short film or something that I wanted to show, and seeing like whatever comedy movies that there were, and like being able to see and deconstruct, like, oh, I could see this written out. I could see like Fran Drescher reading this and be like, oh, I'll play it like this, or like, you know, Bob reading this, or David Bow reading this and be like, oh, I'll play it like this. I don't know. And what I'm saying is that charms the hell out of me. Is just being able to see like the fun, quirky, we're gonna be stupid while we make this movie, and we're going to have a good time, and it's going to show. I love that about the movie already. And that's like just the interactions between the characters, not even like the comedic bits. You know?
Yeah, we haven't even really gotten to like the real comedic bits. This is just like the setup. And this movie, what are we 15, 12 minutes in, and our entire plot's been unveiled.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to take over the station, and let's see how it goes. Like, and I love that. That's what I love about 80s, 90s is they just get right to the fucking point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I want nowadays. I'm just like, hour and a half, sweet, cool, let's go, let's do it. Instead of just a 3-hour slog fest of like, well, you need to know every detail of this character in order to understand the last minute of the movie.
Right.
Well, do I? Because I might not
sure?
make it to the end of the movie because I'll probably be asleep.
Correct. And you're like, there's just those moments. They have no problem. These movies just have no problem. They're not here. They're not even focused on giving you in the setup, giving you a more setup. I don't know how to say it. It's like, won it in a poker game. And, there's George. Well, you should let George run it. How did we get here?
Yeah.
But you don't, you just go, oh, okay.
Sure. And then he just drops that dog in the bowl. rather than setting the dog down or putting like the ladle or whatever it is.
Because he was feeding the dog punch to start, and then he threw the dog into the bowl.
Well, it's absolutely like the movie is just a vehicle for this duo, Al and Jay Levy, to do their like comedic, just their bits, just like shit that they would do on their music videos.
Take the music video and make it into a long format.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh well, what's the idea? Well, like a TV stations, we'll have different TV programs, and those can be the different bits that we come up with.
It's almost like they had these ideas that they could never fully put into a full fruition. That they just had a notebook of. They're like, Gandhi 2.
Yeah,
we should totally put that into the movie.
It all reminds me of like a Tim Robinson.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to mention that there's no way in hell that Tim Robinson was not massively influenced by Weird Al Yankovic, especially this movie. This feels like a precursor to I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah.
And it also feels the same to me like Intergalactic Cable in Rick and Morty. If you've watched those,
yes,
that's some of the best Rick and Morty that they've ever done, where they just sit down and they're flipping through the channels of just weird commercials.
Yeah,
it's one of the best, and they had to have been influenced by this because I can see in 1989 this is just like, wait, what? Why did we just watch this commercial? It's not like we saw someone sitting down to watch it. It just appears, and then the commercial's over.
You could definitely see, like, after any of these bits, like the arm coming through and him reading the watch or whatever, just cut na 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 na, like the theme music,
yes.
the in between music of Tim Robinson skits. Yeah, I totally agree. I think he had to have seen this or been a fan of Weird Al.
And I'm not saying
way.
he stole it. I'm saying he was like a fan. He has to be a fan of this because no one was doing anything like this back then, nor at all until almost recently.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a modern day scatterbrain social media way of like watching some movie or something like that.
That's a good way to put it, because it does feel that way. It's a what am I trying to say? Anthologyistic style of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Of like, there's one continuous storyline that we're gonna keep going through, but we're just fitting in all of our jokes. And what's a vehicle for that? Flipping through the TV, like a TV show, or there's watching different TV shows. And so now we just get to do that. And I don't, like, taking it right back, I don't really care about the rest of the plot.
Yeah.
Guys. I
No.
don't.
The rest of the plot is just like the TV station becomes successful, and so the guy doesn't like it, and so he tries to stop it, and so they have to try and they have to try and fucking stop him.
It's just classic. It's just the classic 101, vehicle idea of a story, and the comeuppance, or like you come up, you kind of rise up through the tough stuff, then you're a threat to the bad guy. It's like, I mean, it's basically Rad.
Yeah.
This movie's basically rad.
It's basically Rad.
It's basically Encino Man too, if you think about it.
It really is. He becomes popular, and people don't like that. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
dude.
I'm just saying. And there's a Chinese guy.
There is. He's there.
Well, let's do scene 2. So George tries to introduce himself at the rival Channel 8, but the arrogant owner R.J. Fletcher throws him out. On his way out, George hires janitor Stanley Spadowski, who Fletcher has unfairly fired. Back at Channel 62, George sees the potential to transform the station, but despite creating new shows like Uncle Nutsy's Clubhouse, the station's low budget and mounting debts overwhelm George. He forgets Terry's birthday, causing her to break up with him. Heartbroken, George leaves Stanley to host Uncle Nutsy's Clubhouse for the night, only to discover at a bar that Stanley's goofy antics have become a hit. Now we start on the commercials, boys.
Yeah.
What is your favorite commercial? Or because there's TV shows and there's commercials. What's your favorite commercial?
Commercial, I think it is the guy selling the cars and
Crazy Ernie.
If someone doesn't come buy one of these cars, I'm gonna beat this seal.
I'm
to
gonna
death.
club this seal.
Did you recognize that actor?
Vaguely.
Did you?
Is that the guy from Basketball?
I don't know that for a fact.
The billionaire Ted whatever his name is.
You could look that up.
I'll look that up.
The way that I know him, that is John Cadenhead is the actor playing that. He is in Ernest Scared Stupid. He's Tom Tulip in
That's
Ernest
what
Scared
it is.
Stupid. He's him and his little crony kind of in I'm Scared
okay.
Stupid, which is very interesting as well because the gun control is for wimps and commies guy is Earl Ramsey, and that guy plays basically the same character, but in Ernest Goes to Camp.
Okay.
There must have been some connection between Weird Al and maybe Paul Varney.
Yeah. Jim Varney.
Jim Varney, yeah.
I feel like-
because a lot of these actors are kind of in that same circle.
Yeah, I really feel like that. What's fucking Kramer?
Michael Richards.
Michael Richards is doing a sort of Jim Varney,
Yeah.
Ernest kind of thing. Like it
Feels-
reminds me so much of that.
Yeah, very much so.
The Christopher Lloyd comparison's interesting. Did you ever watch Taxi?
Some episodes.
Not a lot. No.
I never thought of it, but the minute you said that, I go, oh yes,
Yeah.
like that is very much something that would have come from that.
I was thinking of Ernest Borgnine, by the way. Borgnine.
You mean from Airwolf?
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean from
Yes.
Escape from New York?
I mean from Basketball.
Oh, okay.
Is Ted Denslow the billionaire? Yes.
So what do we think of Michael Richards in this?
Well, first you got to understand where he was at this point. He had done some TV and some just weird random roles, but he was mostly known as a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
That was what he was trying to do in life. The pilot episode of Seinfeld came out 3 weeks before this. But if you know much about Seinfeld got shelved for like another 2 years after that.
Oh.
It was like one episode and they just kind of went, I don't know. It's a show about nothing. What are we going to do here, you know? So he was basically an unknown other than people in the comedic world. I can't imagine what it would have been like to have seen this for the first time and been like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Because to tell you the truth, man, Weird Al's great. Weird Al is the vessel that brings this to us. But this is Michael Richards' movie.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Bold.
I go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
Like I like the character, but it does get to me sometimes.
Yeah?
The way he plays it. Well,
There
I'll
are
say
moments of over the topness. I don't know.
When he's hosting the show, it's like fuck. But like maybe that's what they're going for, you know? Like it's so outrageous. How is this even successful at all?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's funny to me, I guess. But yeah, the moments of when he's just Stanley Spadowski, the janitor, those are great.
It's like, you think if you're like traveling through space at a really high speed and you just yell, "Ah!" You think your head would explode? Like those are the moments where I'm just like, Jesus, dude, this is just. I don't know anyone else who could have delivered this the way he did.
Can I still be the janitor?
Yeah, of course.
You sure can. Great. Awesome. I'm going to clean the bathroom. It's like, okay.
Or the part where he's like, they're like they're having that conversation about outer space, and Bob goes, "Please, guys, do you mind? I'm working." And he's like, "I don't mind, George. Do you mind if he keeps working?"
Yeah.
Just stupid, subtle humor. I personally absolutely love Michael Richards in this role.
I think he's funny. Yeah, I do think it is like his show aspect is what gets to me. But even bits where like he's getting fired by RJ, in his office, and he's like leaving the office, and like he thinks the door closed, and like he thinks he's out of the room now, but he looks back, he's like, oh, that's really good.
I just like the moments of him on the like when he's doing the show, like the mop thing, the mop, and like it's a bar full of guys.
Hey, he's back on.
It's Weird Al's reaction to him, because I don't think even like the rest of the bar is really putting it on like he is, but he's just like,
and he even kind of goes, "You got to stand up." And he goes,
this inspirational speech. Is this where Joe Dirt came from?
Oh man,
is this where Joe Dirt came from?
Maybe,
because life is a garden. Dig it, like
or. I'd like to say, what if Michael Richards was Forrest Gump instead of Tom Hanks?
There we go. Oh, man.
And by the way, Life is Like a Mop is way more inspirational than Life is Like a Box of Chocolates.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Like, nobody buys boxes of chocolates. We don't give a fuck. We've all mopped a floor before, and we know when it's hard to get that fucking shit off that floor.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got to get down there and scrub it with a toothbrush. And sometimes... yeah, it doesn't work to you, but you got to stand right up. And you look at those windows and you say, well, I'm going to clean those.
The moment when
yeah,
dude, the moment when he's like watching the TV go, the coyote, you know, and he goes, go in there. That something special about when he kind of goes, oh, okay. And he walks through the door of the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, like that's a beautiful moment the first time you watch this. Cause again, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All I know is this crazy dude's about to go on air. Is it going to be good or bad? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a cut, and then we don't know what happens until we get our blueberry daiquiri at a dive bar with umbrellas and tiki drinks and stuff like that. It's brilliant.
That's so good.
Yeah, I love it a lot. One of the commercials that I forgot to mention, of course, is Spatula City. Dude, that might be the best like B actor moment where he's like, honey, where's the spatula? Let's go, kids. The fucking just like the editing of that and the performance of that guy just being like so crazy about we get to go to Spatula City now, you know. It's fucking amazing.
That one, the gun controls for wimps and commies, that was like an interview. I think Fran was interviewing him.
Yeah.
What do you think about Noodles and how there will be people out there that maybe with a modern day eye don't feel very happy about a lot of the aspects of this movie, like the stereotypical Chinese guy, the Hispanic guy, the upward angle from Noodles when he's filming because he's a little guy and he's like. There might be people that don't like that, but it's so funny.
A bunch of people had asked Weird Al if he would ever do a sequel to this, and like he's like, one, no, it's because it wasn't successful whatsoever. And I know like people like it now, and two, no, because comedy has changed so much, it would not work. Like that, my kind of shit will not fly nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of shit.
The camera's going up better because he's on the ground. It's so funny to me. I don't know why.
It is. And Fran Drescher is like a tall woman.
And I thought that in my head. I go, oh, this Noodles guy, he's awesome. Oh, but wait, if he's holding the camera, it's going to have to be upward. And then the next shot's of it.
I thought they were going to do like
be better
people watching it like and like seeing her upskirt. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad they didn't do like that's not the joke. It's just because it's, well, you know, at his expense.
And how sad is it? Like when the dude trips him, man, like that's like a super sad shot, man.
Well, they make you feel empathy for him. Like, and you know, like,
I already did.
They don't care that he's a little person and the cameraman.
Yes.
It's just, it's a funny bit, whatever.
It would have been also really great if they had like either done the opposite or gone back and forth of like being like actually above her at some point. But I don't know. Both ways, it's a great payoff of a joke regardless. It's good.
And you got the Emo Phillips bit where I don't know why it's not my favorite of the entire thing, but the one thing that makes me die laughing is one of my favorite characters in the movie is the black guy camera operator. Huggable face. Dude, when he's standing there holding a sandwich while the dude's blood is squirting. And he gets to play the drums for the songs, and he gets his own show later where he just people
practical jokes. Just trips an old lady.
Whoops. It's just like I could talk for days about every little skit and how funny it is.
Oh, that's fucking great.
And how it's all throwaway because it's like, do it, it's over, move on.
And that's what I mean. Like it's so reminiscent of a Zucker movie, a Jim Abrams comedy style. Like if this movie would have been more successful, I don't know how. I wonder how it would have affected those movies, and or if there would have been another big name to kind of make that type of comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's so hand in hand. I mean, you think of Hot Shots. The movie Hot Shots is the exact same way. It is so fast. You have to keep up. They don't take the time to talk about their jokes. They make a joke, they move on. It is throwaway comedy.
It's Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
Scary
Saddles.
movie.
Yeah. Another Mel Brooks is another one, who does this kind of stuff. You better pay attention. And the people who think that it's stupid comedy, then they don't understand comedy to a certain degree.
Yeah.
That's dumb. It's like, no, don't you get it? That's great.
We talk about it all the time, and I think what How to American Summer is that in entirety, where it seems like an inside joke that they thought was funny, and so they put it on camera, and somehow us, I think, because I don't hear a lot of people talk about these kinds of jokes, but I think it's Scary Movie 3, where the woman, the cop, it's the parody of Signs, and her hat keeps growing.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Why? They don't explain it.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's really funny.
But it's like, what the fuck is that? And
She has trouble getting into the car because of it. Okay.
It's that kind of shit where it's just, I don't know. That's kind of my kind of comedy, I think. It's just just throw it out there and see if it works.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys? Oh,
no, you're good.
Can I ask you guys if all these cutaway moments are really funny? How do you feel about the fact that he put a music video for the Dire Straits' Beverly Hillbillies in the middle of this? There's no rhyme or reason for why it's there. It's showing his imagination because he's watching the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
But I did read a couple reviews where a lot of people are like, no, this part took me out. Did you feel that way?
Not necessarily, I guess. I don't think so, because at this point, what else could you do? That's really what I think. They're not going to do anything at this point that's going to throw me off.
That's true.
For me.
And it's such a fucking banger song, dude.
And that's what I was going to say, bro, because, by the way, Dire Straits is one of the greatest bands of all time. This song is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Well, Weird Al is known, and he doesn't have to do this, but he's known to reach out to the artist and be like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be doing this. I kind of want your permission. I know I don't need it, but I would like it.
Love it.
Respectful. That's cool.
Yeah.
And reaching out to Mark Knopfler, Knopfler's like, oh, hell yeah, man. But I'm going to record my own guitar because I want it to sound exactly like that.
One of the greatest riffs of all time.
So Mark
That's
Knopfler
great.
recorded the parody version of this song. So cool.
God, that's amazing.
And this is what makes me wonder why I never liked Weird Al back in the day, because Weird Al is an incredible, talented musician. The fact that he could take this song that's already a banger and make it its own cool banger, but get all the little intricacies like that little clampet when he gets, because I had never heard this before. That little clampet's got his own cement pond. Because you know what, you've heard the original, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, genius that he fits these perfect word moments in there like he does.
Yeah.
You take a moment to look back on Weird Al and kind of some of the where he started, or kind of people talked about his big break moment was it Johnny Carson or something? But
sure.
It was one of the late night shows, and he got up there and he was doing songs with his accordion.
Yeah.
And apparently it didn't really go well necessarily. People didn't respond, they didn't get it, or whatever it was. But then he kind of just keeps going on, and I remember after that, when I start seeing his videos for I'm fat, I'm bad.
Yeah.
I remember seeing these videos and losing my shit.
Yeah.
And then you realize how close they are to the original and how close they get to the original videos.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that without having a very high respect for the source material.
100%.
You know, it's amazing. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And just to simply like basically do the song, but like I'm fat or what is it?
Eat it.
Eat it.
Eat it.
Smells like he did Nirvana. Smells like what was the Nirvana one?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, no.
Now we're really,
I just remember
we're getting screamed at right now.
my brother got a Weird Al CD for Christmas or for Easter one time, and it was the Jurassic Park cover one, but it was just like his face on like the T-Rex, the skeletal T-Rex or whatever. I remember that fondly, and me and my brother would listen to
remember
that
that too.
over and over.
Amish Paradise.
Yes,
was the
dude.
other bit.
Yes.
I
Another
remember
one rides the bus like a surgeon. Dude, I know there are pockets of people out there that just completely idolize this man's work, and I think I'm about ready to just start diving into it. 'Cause
Hell yeah.
This dude's, even the song, I think it's an original song that's in this movie.
Yeah, the UHF theme.
That song's a banger.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's like I remember distinctly being able to sing most of Amish Paradise.
Yeah, same.
And I would be able to I would sing it more like than Gangster's Paradise. Like
One of these days, I'm going to surprise people at
Do
a
it.
show, and
Me too.
it's going to be all Amish Paradise.
Sean and I will come out in Amish attire.
Yes.
My God.
And we will do it with
Just
you, or
backups.
at least just give you backups.
Just
Hype man.
Yeah. At 5:30 in the morning, I'm milking cows. Jebediah feeds the chickens, and Jacob plows. Fool.
All right, scene 3. Revitalized by Stanley's success, George and Bob create new zany programming for Channel 62, with Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse leading the way. The station becomes a surprise ratings juggernaut, infuriating Fletcher. Fletcher learns of Harvey's $75,000 gambling debt, offers to cover it if Harvey signs over Channel 62. George's aunt demands Harvey hold off so George can raise the money himself.
Guys, it's basically dodgeball.
yeah.
Except inflation accounts for $100,000 like in dodgeball.
Yes,
See,
of
it,
course.
it all makes
I
sense.
see.
It all makes
I
sense.
see.
Yep.
Some more of the skits, the plots are us. When
Dude,
that's
That's Tim Robinson.
that's where I was like, oh yeah,
Coffin Flop.
Yes.
Like, that's what we're talking
the
about right
salad
now.
bar at the dude.
Plenty
just
of free parking.
that fucking picture, dude. the sad woman with the salad bar. So fucking good.
Dude, what of these shows would you want to watch? You've got Raoul's Wild Kingdom.
I want to talk about Raoul's.
Secrets of the Universe, Conan the Librarian, Gandhi 2. These are ones you see on that wall later on. Wonderful World of Phlegm is like 2 hours long, by the way. It's the longest program they have. Leave it to Bigfoot. Name That Stain. Bestiality Today, and very topical, The Flying Pope. And of course, Wheel of Fish. You have to have Wheel of Fish on there as well. These, this is so, that's just, I like that they give us a taste of some of them, but also then you just look at that board, you're like, what the fuck is Wonderful World of Phlegm?
So
or
fucking
Name
funny.
That Stain. I have to watch it. I would watch this TV station.
I mean, yeah, come on.
Raoul's Wild Kingdom. That's where you see certain Tim Robinson skits, and like my favorite one is Dylan, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. I'm just joking. I'm joking. Where did they find that guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
Or like the old guy who plays like the Santa Claus playing the action star or whatever. That guy. Where'd they find
Trinidad Silva.
Trinidad Silva to play Raoul. This is fucking. I would watch this all day. This is my favorite skit in the entire movie. I just love how excited he is, and like kind of how non-Hollywood he looks.
Of course.
And just the flying puppies and stuff. Like we don't like that the animal abuse.
Well,
and
when it's poodles, it's fine.
it's a joke, so I don't really give a shit. The pile of them outside the fucking
the angle straight up too when he comes out the window. I don't know if you read about Trinidad Silva, dude. Like, tragic. He died in a car accident.
A drunk driver.
A drunk driver hit him and his kid or something like that. This, I think they still had scenes to film for him.
He was going to be at the the telethon.
Yes, he was going to be a part of the telethon, and they had to kind of write him out of it. But man, like, tragic that this man did not live past this movie to just do more things.
I know, and the film's dedicated to him, which rightfully so. It's
him and the homeless guy too. He died. Like,
did he?
He died shortly after as well, I think.
Yeah, it sucks, and like I watching this for the third time maybe, I'm like, God damn, that's like, it made me fall in love with that kind of comedy where it's like, where'd they find this person comedy?
Yeah.
You know, and to read that, it was just like, fuck, man. Like, it's kind of sad watching
It's
it
so
now because
sad.
he's so sweet and so excited in the
And
bit.
bad at his job.
Yes, it's so cool.
Not too many people know this, but the turtle is also nature's suction cup. Watch this.
It's like, no, I actually didn't know that.
There's an off camera. It makes a loud plop sound. Did you see that? It sticks. Ha!
Even like Wheel of Fish, man, like that shit, that grosses me out so much. The fact that they actually put real fish on there.
Dude.
They actually put real fish. And you see it when it spins, they go, blop,
Yeah.
blop. They like flop over. That shit, this whole thing nails modern day game shows.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever mistakenly watched a primetime game show, like where like you go up and you put the thing and it goes down, and then do you want to do 1,000 or do you not, or do you want to risk the it's an hour long. It could take 5 minutes if they didn't have all the commercials and
Yes.
the talking to people. This nails modern day game shows.
Even
How terrible they
Survivor,
are.
even Survivor,
Even
with like
Survivor.
their fucking stupid challenges they do. Like, you got to build this puzzle. It's like, you need that to survive in the wilderness.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is going? Like, it's ridiculous, and that's obviously why they're making fun of.
Yeah, it's hilarious because look at them. They're malnourished and dehydrated and sleep deprived. Now let's put them on basic jungle gyms.
Cool.
It's just like
Let's
cool.
put stilts on them this time.
Yeah, would be. And you kind of have to hold this thing and balance it, but it's gonna get harder.
Well-
and then we make you do a puzzle if your brain's not dead yet. It's just like, all right. And at the end, some food,
Maybe.
cheeseburgers and beer.
With cockroaches in them.
Yeah, gotcha. But you're hungry, so you'll eat it.
Yeah, Wheel of Fish is like, you know, the best game shows were the Nickelodeon game shows, obviously.
Obviously,
Like
Double Dare, Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Those things are
Global
sick.
Guts.
It's like the meld of the adult game shows with those, or it's like the kid game shows invading the adult world.
Yeah.
And that's what Weird Al's brain is to me.
Yes.
Is that kind of juxtaposition.
Yeah.
If we were on a train to go punch a face,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, guys, this was an obvious one for me. Like, I think a lot of people are gonna say that you want to punch Fletcher's son, one of the main henchmen.
Yeah.
But I don't, because I actually really love him.
I do too.
Especially when he goes, "What do you think Fletcher Sr. is saying?" He goes, "Oh, let me out. I can't breathe in here." Like, when he fucking... I love this guy, and the more the movie goes on, so no, not touching him. My punchable face is the fire hose kid.
Okay.
They could not have found a worse kid actor if they tried than this kid, especially he was going... And then when he finally gets to the hose, he goes, "Are you ready?" Yeah, dude.
What about the kid that spits on him? Is that the same one?
No, it's a different kid.
Okay.
And I know this kid gets basically killed by a fire hose, but I'd like to punch him after he has died from the fire hose. Like,
Wow.
yeah, he's bad.
I want you to have that one. I want to punch the spit kid.
Even though he's having the best time and hiding his laughter.
Yes.
So.
yeah. Yeah.
It's,
I want to punch the character.
It's
Yeah.
there's
Alex
the
did
other
say
guy.
Fletcher's son, but you're wrong. Alex Navarro. He is so funny.
There's a guy sitting next to Alex, the son. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like-
The other one, not the
Right.
hat mustache guy.
correct.
Love it.
No, not him. There's
Take that
other
thing off.
guy.
Sean, this might have been my biggest laugh of the entire episode when he goes, "Take that ridiculous thing off." You're like, "Yeah, take that hat off." Nope, mustache. He looks so sad too. He's like, "This is my new thing. I think I'm gonna."
And I was convinced.
that that is a joke that Family Guy stole.
Of course.
Sure, yeah.
That's somewhere along the way. Like,
Didn't Family Guy do the? Is this it? Nope. Is this it? Nope.
nope.
I feel like that's a Family Guy thing too. They probably have referenced this movie plenty of
I
times.
They
wouldn't
reference.
doubt
I
it.
think they referenced the twinkle. Fucking. What are we calling it?
It's called the cheese twog.
It's the twinkle hog.
Okay.
That's
No,
what it
it's a
is.
cheese twog.
cheese twog.
Cheesy glizzy Twinkie.
Oh no.
Jarrett Layoff wants to punch the upside down yodeler. I don't know. That's pure talent, bro. I don't know if you want to punch that
Come
guy.
on.
Did you have one, AJ? I think we cut you off.
Oh no, it was the other guy,
Okay.
the
It's-
other
you're right.
executive. Yeah,
Not the mustache guy, not the son,
Not the son.
the other guy.
yeah. I said I wanted a Rolex. Ah, what is this?
Dude, the shows are doing successful. One of my other favorite jokes. The shows are doing successful. He's like, we have so many people calling in. Like, they can do this, they can do that. Someone called me and someone said that they can eat their own face.
And how good is it when Stanley's show is now full blown and he's driving that car out? Oh, yeah. And the crowd's going nuts. And man, dude, it's so funny to me. Yeah. I think we missed another one too. Was there another? Nope, we got all the shows. Let's do this while we're at it too.
Ooh, here's a prop.
Speaking of a mustache guy, I need that hat, dude. I think I could wear that hat. I think I could go to like a Morgan Wallen concert and wear that hat. And I
Hell
think
yeah,
people would
dude.
like that a
There you
lot.
go. A
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen concert. I want Stanley's wallet.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because he was sitting there and he's like, oh man, well, is there anything I could do to help you? He's like, not unless you have $75,000 you can get me by tonight or Friday or whatever it is. He says, change rattles. No. It's not even a nope, darn it. It's no, I don't.
I want George's Hawaiian shirt collection.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Thank
the
you.
whole collection?
Yeah.
Alex Navarro wants he wants the mop, or no, he said he wants the marble in the oatmeal that my punchable face took, because he says I know one of you will take Stanley's mop. Stanley's mop in the corner would be pretty incredible.
Damn, that's a great one.
Yeah.
But we didn't do it. Jarrett wants the single seater car. He rolls up to the TV station, and that car is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic car.
I like
All right.
that.
Let's move on to the next scene. So, scene 4, to save the station, George organizes a 48-hour telethon to sell investment shares and pay off the debt. The telethon starts off strong with Stanley's boundless energy, but Fletcher's henchmen kidnap him to sabotage Channel 62's efforts. Without Stanley, the telethon stalls, forcing George and a ragtag team, including Cooney's karate students, to rescue him from Channel 8. In an extended Rambo parody, George imagines himself as a soldier leading the charge against Fletcher's goons. The best Stanley moment, though, is when he's eating the watermelon and he goes, tastes like poop. And then he moves on to the cereal. There's a toy inside. Kids, don't tell your mom that you do. That, to me, if you're going to sum up Michael Richards in this movie, you show this little scene here.
I think you're right. Yeah, that was one of the moments where I'm like, okay, I could take this.
I'd watch the show. Hey, I watched Bozo the Clown growing up.
I did too.
I would have rather have had Stanley Spadowski's, I think.
Yeah. I hate
What
clowns.
was Bob's character, the clown?
Oh God, it was it was in the original version. Hold on, I got it here. It's Bobo
Yeah, Bobo.
at Uncle Nutsy's clubhouse.
Everyone's favorite clown, Bobo, the frying pan. That was he hit him for real.
Seriously?
Like he didn't pull that punch whatsoever. Like the look up, look down, look to the side, and then look at this frying pan. Look at Mr. Frying Pan. He hit him for real, and so it was like his reaction in that scene of him being like "fuck" is real. And like the
Jeez.
red paint was like covering a split lip that he had,
Oh
and then he
my
was shoving
God.
dog treats into his fucking mouth.
Oh,
Yeah, he was pissed.
I bet you should be.
This is also where you get the Rambo scene, and like I wasn't quite sure. They only do the intro, Indiana Jones, and then they never really have him recreate a movie until
Yeah.
this again, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be it was going to happen a lot more often.
Yeah.
When they finally show him as Rambo, and he's got that unbelievable, like, you know it's fake, but it looks good.
Yeah.
His little bodysuit, that's, what'd you say, KY jelly
Yeah.
oil all over it.
Yeah.
The way Weird Al acts to put his face into a Sylvester Stallone face, it's literally top tier acting.
They added on a little 5 o'clock shadow for him and stuff. And it's just him.
It's pretty good.
And the gag of the guy shooting him, the old guy
Dude,
shooting him,
so fucking good.
and the way it explodes. The body just fucking explodes.
It's just made out of foam.
Yep.
Even going back to the Conan the Librarian when he splits the guy in half. So
And it was like split, gone. I mean, like if you blinked, you wouldn't see that. It was such a fast cut.
It's just like it's like he has to like he turns around or something, turns back around before they get on the helicopter with the big machine gun, and he's just like shooting randomly, and then a building blows up, and then it's like him shooting again, and then it's a bridge blows up. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Somebody said they reached out to Sylvester Stallone.
one of the production people knew Sylvester Stallone, and they reached out to him, and he loved it. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he was going to have him play just like the ticket guy.
He was going to be the helicopter ride ticket guy.
Just that. And he was going to do it. But like, I think scheduling got in the way or something like that. But man, it would have been fucking awesome.
That would have been such a great little Easter egg cameo thing. Ugh.
And when I mean, as funny as this scene is, when he does the sideways, I'm crying thinking about just how goddamn perfect his mouth goes, like sideways, blowing up world landmarks, and the next shot is him walking into the boardroom. There are so many great cuts in this movie, like when they find out that they're number one.
Yeah,
and he goes, "That means we're number one." Slice the cut right in the middle of their scream, dude. It's like brilliant filmmaking. It really is.
I like that a lot, and I really feel like I'm bought in at this point too.
Yes,
like when they're like, "Oh, that means we're number one." Like I don't know. There's something about it. I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like this kind of weird ass TV is number one. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I if you lived in this time and this was happening, you'd watch this.
Oh yeah,
It's
You
like
would totally watch this.
it's like if PBS had like a weird cousin or
Yes.
something is basically what this is.
it's like Mad TV,
Public
like
access.
red green kind of shit. You know,
Yeah.
I used to watch all those things.
Yeah,
and
same.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, 100%. It's like if Wayne's World and like Red Green Show
Yes.
and like all these different shows were just on like again like it feels like public access, but let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But isn't that just almost how this predicted the modern day world of this is YouTube.
This is TikTok.
This is you now have a platform to be like, yeah, I build wooden models of penises.
Mm-hmm.
I call them wooden dildos. And it's my shop, and I do it. And
I've
you
seen
want to
them.
watch me make them?
I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of your videos.
Yeah.
It's great. And I have a great audience, man. You
They're
can
all,
subscribe to my Patreon.
They're
if you
all on
want.
private right now, but
They're very dedicated.
But you know what I mean? Like, you can be a strange individual who has a really good talent at doing something, and you have a platform.
Yeah.
Which is what the public access used to kind of be. Like, you had to fight your way through it a little bit, and your audience was very small. But now, like, you're accessible to the entire world. It's sort of kind of predicted that in a way. This show did.
yeah,
This movie did.
It's really cool in that way because like there's the niche YouTube channels that I subscribe to or whatever. I just yesterday morning I was watching people like mow lawns that are out of control. And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. And I went and mowed my lawn, and it took me like 2 hours. I went and got like a $150 saw because this guy had like a saw in a holster or whatever. I'm like, I need that.
I need that.
I have to have that.
And now I'm going to watch that every time before I go to mow because it's just like inspiration.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen those videos too.
They're
The guys-
satisfying.
Oh, they're so satisfying. Just these guys, this guy will go around and ask people, it's like, well, no, I know it's like, it's pretty overgrown. It's like, well, how much would it be? It's like, I do it for free because I have people who watch it.
I'm going to film it.
I'm like, yeah, you've got a lot of people who watch this.
Don't worry.
This
No
is
matter
so
what you're going to pay
satisfying.
me is not even close to what I'm making on YouTube right
Yeah.
now.
Correct.
So,
And like even scrolling on like Instagram or like TikTok or whatever and seeing like just dudes throw rocks off a bridge. I'm like, I could watch this for hours, dude.
It just says it's for the boys. I'm here for it.
that's the beauty of the modern age. Like my favorite thing to watch, I've talked about it since the beginning, was a guy named Shai, Shiey. He's like the original like train hopper,
Hell yeah.
urban explorer guy. Like, I will watch that. It's almost like YouTube's taking over for streaming platforms because The minute I start getting lost in a Netflix scroll, I go, fuck it. No, I know exactly what I'm going to watch, and I go to YouTube.
You know what? I think that's exactly what we're saying and what we're talking about is that like network television is like Netflix or like whatever, Prime Video, whatever.
The people will like this because we said they'll like it.
The new public access is YouTube or Instagram, TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's brilliant. Do you think people modern day get mad about some of the stereotypical stuff of this movie?
Probably.
Like the supplies closet?
Yeah.
I laughed really hard at that.
On.
I laughed really hard at that.
I don't care. It just if it's funny, it's funny. I'm sorry. I'm gonna laugh.
Did you laugh when he goes supplies?
100%.
Yes.
I thought it was maybe the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. I thought it was fucking unreal.
That's why, I mean, like, he's right, though. Weird Al, when saying, like, comedy's changed so much and you can't make a movie kind of quite like this anymore. And it's kind of a shame. And I don't want to get into that argument.
Of course.
That's why. It's because PC and shit. But, like, they just don't, there's not a Weird Al anymore. There's no, I mean, obviously Weird Al's still with us, but there's nobody doing that anymore that I can think of.
Tim Robinson?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's the only one, but like he's, maybe not as big as Weird Al was at this time.
Weird Al's it's going to be hard to subscribe and tell our kids someday like what Weird Al was.
Yeah.
Like it was just a global phenomenon, name guy that did music and movies and TV.
Maybe Tim Robinson is the best example because now he has the movie out.
Did you see Friendship? Yeah. Was it awesome?
It's great.
Oh,
You're going to love it. If you like, I think you should leave. You're going to love the movie.
Oh, my God. Okay.
All right.
Well, final scene with Stanley safe and back at Channel 62. The telethon reaches its goal just in time. Fletcher's scheme unravels when Philo broadcasts footage of Fletcher insulting his audience and reveals Channel 8 failed to renew its FCC license. The FCC revokes Channel 8's license, taking Fletcher off the air for good. Philo, secretly an alien, teleports home. His mission complete. George and Terry rekindle their romance in a Gone with the Wind spoof, and Channel 62's staff and fans celebrate their victory.
I forgot one skit
that
I really love because a lot of the skits that are like standouts don't involve Weird Al or don't involve George. Town Talk, though.
Dude, when he gets hit by the chair, chair.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought it back around to Town Talk.
Sex with furniture. What do you think? What?
That final shot when he's like coming up at 8, chair smashes on him. Like that's comedy.
To say sexist Nazi lesbians forced to do a diet or exercise. Your thoughts next. Coming up next. Or the chair that hits down on the KKK member's hood and it just goes just flat.
I would watch that show for sure. I would watch that one too, man.
That was one of the best. I've completely forgot about it, but yeah, man, like that.
Great call.
That shit is so good. The breaking chairs. It's like the Wet Hot American Summer bit where they throw something and it's the jar breaking in the background.
Yeah.
That's so good.
One thing I did want to mention that it's never really implied that any of these shows are popular. Like I think they're sort of trying to tell you that they're popular, but we don't see people reacting to these other shows like they do Stanley Spadowski's.
Sure.
So my thought is that actually George and his buddy Bob are actually not good at running this station. I think they're trying to make you think that they do a good job with these shows, but I don't think anyone's watching these shows. Everybody's just watching Stanley, which is bringing in all the money. That's number one in the market. When Stanley disappears from this telethon, people stop giving money to it. So Stanley Spadowski is the true star of this station, and nothing that George and Bob have done has actually helped fulfill and build the station into a success.
You're right. I mean, he completely saved it, and it's all on Stanley. It's all because he took over that gig.
I'm thinking about so many movies that I feel like I can give a direct tie back to UHF now.
Okay.
And another one now is another tie for Mrs. Doubtfire of him being a janitor and then taking over a TV show and becoming that guy.
It's exactly
most
right.
movies
Saving
we
a
have
network.
would be nothing without UHF.
That's what we're basically saying.
Basically.
Everything you love is due. It's because of UHF.
It's because of UHF.
Yep.
Mrs. Doubtfire, Dodgeball,
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt, What else did I have?
I think you should
basically
leave.
Encino
Rick and
Man.
Morty. Encino
Basically,
Man.
Basically Encino.
I mean, you're 100% right. Mrs. Doubtfire is like a public access
Yeah.
thing that people watch. He would be on Channel 62.
100%.
Yeah.
We didn't talk much about his relationship with Terry.
Yeah, true.
Dude, George is a terrible boyfriend.
Checks out.
And they gloss right over it. He barely spends any time with her. They're together like twice in this entire movie.
Yeah.
And every time he's with her, he's always daydreaming about other things instead of paying attention to his. I think she's hot, Victoria Jackson.
She's cute.
Funny voice, but it'd be cool. But even like the dad,
It'd be cool.
the dad's totally right about like fuck this guy, and she's like, no, we got to give him a chance. This is the second time he stood her up. And by the way, one of the worst lines of the movie is like the entire studio has fallen apart. His entire career has fallen apart, and he goes, "Oh well, at least I still have Terry." Now he wants Terry because everything else that he's been chasing has fallen apart. It's actually pretty shitty. He's a pretty bad boyfriend.
Wait, what time is it? 9:30. And the phone rings. The cut to I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's great. What was it? Like Ellen DeGeneres and other people were up for this, and I think it's kind of a minor sort of role, but
It's very.
you're right that he kind of does treat her like shit a little bit. But it isn't a nice, sweet thing that she's like, no, I believe in him. There's still some good in there, or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just we gotta get through this and make this successful so we can be together, kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
I guess.
What about I haven't had this reaction in a long time where something on screen has made me feel like it was going to come through the screen. You know, like almost in 3D where I'm like, just stay on the screen. When that homeless man is like getting right up in the face of Fletcher and they're going like I was on my couch kind of like going backwards trying to get away from him because of just how disgusting he probably was in that moment. And dude, he had to be a real homeless man, right? No,
He's an actor.
he's like an accomplished actor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Unbelievable that he could pull this off. Because I was grossed the fuck out when he was talking on screen.
I believe he's been in some Joe Dante movies, perhaps. I'm not sure, but I've seen him in other stuff.
He's got a huge IMDb. He's got a ton of stuff.
And his CBIB is
Yeah.
growing now too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So
Well, anything else you want to talk about with UHF? I know AJ hasn't seen this part of the movie, so he doesn't have much to add.
No,
to
it's
it.
okay, guys. I just haven't seen this part of the movie yet.
this sort of
So-
espionage thing that Philo does, where this community means as much to me as a festering bowl of dog snot. Kevin McCarthy in this too.
Oh,
He was
God.
one of my favorite parts of
Inner Space.
Inner Space. I loved his timing and his comedic chops in that, and it's to be in like an overt ridiculous comedy like this. He's a standout for me. I love him in this.
I like don't hate him. That's how good he is at this. Is
Yeah.
like he needs to be there, and I'm glad he's there. Instead of like, oh God, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
He just like I'm kind of like, yeah, it's pretty cool that he's there and he's doing his job for the other station. He's so good in this.
Yeah, I
What
love
a
him.
Prototypical villain of this era. He's
Oh, yeah.
so
Just
good.
everything
He is.
he's saying, he's snarling through it. You know?
Yes. Nothing is right. Nothing is good enough for him. But that's why we love him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the kind of end where they do get the money and the crowd is outside with them reminds me of like Airheads kind of.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I really like
Michael
those
Richards
vibes.
was an
Yes,
Airhead.
yeah,
There you
nice. Yeah, I don't know. I like the whole
Dude,
vibe of the ending.
It's basically Airheads.
Basically
it's
Airheads.
basically
Basically
like
Airheads.
a community coming together to keep something local instead of network.
It's
Yeah.
basically Empire Records.
100%.
So, just
basically
saying.
Boondock Saints.
It's okay.
To think about that one. You know what this movie really is? Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
If
You
I've
know.
ever seen it. Yeah.
Just trying to save the.
Forrest Gump was actually another one that we connected, though.
Yes, yeah, it is that.
We'll just put together a list. Without UHF, you don't have the following movies.
Yep. Let's make some people really
Yeah.
angry.
It's 130 strong.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Basically Terminator 2.
Well, we have dissected UHF with a modern eye. Time to give it a modern day rating. Sean, what do you think about this?
I think this movie is completely and utterly one of those movies that's like a Saturday morning movie for me. Or like I just went and saw the new Filippo Brothers movie, the guys who did Talk to Me, their new movie called Bring Her Back. Great movie, liked it a lot. Very fucking depressing, I will say that, no spoilers. But after that movie, I needed something like this, and I was either going to be this or like one of the Wayne's World movies, just to make me feel better. This is if you feel shitty, put this on. If you feel like you are going out with some friends, put this on. You'll be funnier.
Yeah.
It'll just happen. I think it's completely entertaining and completely watchable. Some of it doesn't work. Some of the jokes don't land for me, and some of Michael Richards' performance gets to me a little bit. But this is a fun fucking movie, man. This is a 7.3.
7.3. AJ, what about you, bro?
I was so nervous about this movie, guys. I was like, I went into this movie totally expecting to be, I know I'm going to want this movie to be something great, but I'm really nervous that it's not going to be. And I'm going to be trying to convince myself that it is something good. You know, you have those movies like that was Mortal Kombat 2, right? I convinced myself as a kid that this was good.
Of course. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just one of those things that you're just, but I was so pleasantly surprised from about right out of the gate with the Indiana Jones parody. And then we mentioned it earlier, but it was that joke or that split second of him splashing those people with the mustard that I was like, God damn it. Like, yes. Like, why? And they never show them again.
No. Never.
It's like two bikers and a kid.
And so, and I don't know, it's just something about that that what allowed me to then fall into this movie. And I think if you can't fall into this movie, you may not like it. But if you do, I think you have. I think there's a lot to be had out of this movie. I love the parodies. Something about Weird Al in this era just is very, very comforting to me in a comedy sense. And he is like a walking, talking, like living cartoon. Yeah. He really is, especially in this era. So I love the movie. I really do think it's a lot of fun. I wish I watched it a little bit more kind of leading up to this. But that being said, I'm going to watch this again. Even after this. And I think that says something about it. So I'm not going to be too bold here, but I do think that this movie, let me see where I'm at. I think that this movie needs to be, it is a 7 point. It is okay, good. No, I did update that. I did update this. So I will give this a 7.25. That is tied with RoboCop for me.
7.25 for AJ. Okay. Yeah, I told you I was not a Weird Al fan and I didn't get it. And after watching after watching this movie, you might literally in one movie have convinced me that Weird Al is one of the most talented people of the last 50 years. In his dude, he is incredible in this movie, and his music is out of this world, and his vision and his comedy and his just guts to make this, like just his guts to do anything he does, because he's just like I want to do it because I love it. This movie was one of my most enjoyable experiences of the podcast, like.
Great follow-up to May of Damon.
Oh, yeah. God, what a follow-up. Especially
quite a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
And we're moving into just July. Wait till you guys see July. Oh, my God. So this
July
is just
will
like,
make you cry.
That's what we're calling. I'm looking at all my comedies on my list. This is not as funny as Dumb and Dumber, What Had Our American Summer, or Holy Grail, but this is funnier and a better movie than Airplane and Blazing Saddles for me.
Whoa.
This is an 8.16 for me,
Wow.
guys.
Damn, fuck
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Josh Miller. So here's the thing. The first 30 minutes of this movie was rough, minus the opening scene. Objectively, this movie isn't good, but it was never trying to be more than it actually was. With your guys' latest re-ranking episode, one of you upped your score for Surf Ninjas, 2 of us did, and called me out that no matter what you guys do, my score of 2 really cancels out someone else's high score. At the moment, I'll stand by my 2 for Surf Ninjas,
Good for
but
you.
after watching UHF, do I need to give it a rewatch for my second viewing ever? It's really hard to strip away all of your nostalgia for something you love so much, especially as a kid. I still really enjoy this movie, but strictly speaking, it's not good. The writing overall is okay, but a lot of it is bad. Almost everything outside the gags and gag lines are poorly done and written. Some of the gags and gag lines are not great either, but they were on brand for Weird Al. A lot of jokes make me chuckle. Nothing made me laugh out loud as it did as a kid, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's not the first time I've seen or heard it. It's pretty amazing, though, that 30-some years after my last watch, I remember so many of the lines. I can't really pick a favorite part of this movie. There are too many to choose from. One would obviously be Weird Al's parody of Money for Nothing. On a side note, serious question, guys. You're all musicians and in bands. Is Knopfler's guitar intro one of the best song intros ever?
Yes.
Yeah. The tone and the weirdness of that riff is just like...
Finger picking.
And you're leaving out the drum solo leading up to that, bro.
Yeah.
And is the song only okay and it stood the test of time held up solely by that intro? No, that song's a pure banger.
It rips.
Still rips. To wrap this thing up, I don't typically get into the prop and punchable face, mainly because I forget. There are so many props that would be good in this, but I'm going to go with the U62 fall schedule board.
Nice.
Did you
Hell
guys
yeah.
pause to read some of the shows? I'd watch all of them. Please tell me at least one of you paused it to read them. We did. Dog racing from Rio de Janeiro, underwater bingo for teens have me intrigued.
Yeah.
Did you catch that they predicted the future? One of the topics coming up for Town Talk was sex with furniture. I feel like that really has made the news. Punchable face, the easy answer is RJ Fletcher, but not because of his face, just because he's an ass. Not of RJ Fletcher's kid because of his face. I'm going with Weird Al because up until the end, he's made so many bad life choices and basically drug Bob along with him. In the end, Weird Al is a national treasure in my eyes and needs to be protected at all costs. My score definitely goes down because, again, it's not an amazing movie, but it's still good and it still makes me feel good. I'll always look back on it fondly with a score of 7.25. So I am the outlier here, boys, but that brings it up to a 7.49.
Hell yeah.
Which is going to take this tied in the 100th spot with Young Guns. We do think that Super Troopers and Tommy Boy are better movies, but we think this is better than Face Off and Fast Times at Ridgemont High is how we feel about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Down with that.
That's
Respect.
that we got to live by it. So
Respect.
we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. Tune in next week. Batman Forever, followed by True Lies. And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year. Men in Black was the movie we did.
Banger after banger after banger.
Just pure bangers. That's what we do. We literally 5 straight years of just bangers.
Just bangers.
Sorry.
Sorry, we're fucking good at this.
Really good at fucking podcasts.
Well, thanks to Brian on the controls from Upload Media Group. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com. They're here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and our network, Cloud 10. They are the best. We love Cyba and Sim. Check them out at cloud10.fm. That's going to be it for us.
Yeah.
Now it's time to do a bonus episode so we can try a hot dog Twinkie cheese.
They're good. I'm going to finish that one.
Cheese twog. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks again for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure you're checking us out on YouTube here in the studio, hanging out with us live and in person in the studs. Check us out on social media. Search for Confused Breakfast at Confused Breakfast anywhere on social media. And please leave us a review. 5 stars on any platform that you're listening on. Write us a comment on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Write us a review. We love to read them.
Go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to see the merch that we have. You can see the shirts. We have new shirts up there. It's awesome. I believe it. You can go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to see the ratings of the movies that we have covered. You can see AJ's ratings. You can see Mike's ratings. And you can see my ratings and the show's ratings overall. Goodbye. I love you.
Thanks to Brian on the controls here at Upload Media Group. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com. and learn more about our network Cloud 10 at cloud10.fm. We love you so much. Go on to the next video.